Down the track in this episode, we'll be reviewing the test series between Australia and Pakistan. Australia winning the third test convincingly in the end. It went to the day five, but their bowlers did the job. Pat Cummins, outstanding leadership. Now we can say that cricket is a captain. That's captaincy. You have to make calls. Sometimes it goes your way, and you're called a great captain. It doesn't go your way, and you're criticized. But it was great the way he dangled that carrot. You saw it went in the last session, so declaring early was important, but there was that fear that Pakistan might chase this down and Australia would lose the series. So it was a kind of a risky call, but I think he assessed that first innings and he realized this Lahore pitch is different to the Karachi pitch, and with the older ball, it's going to be more difficult to score runs, and that's exactly what happened. This Test match was all about the bowling from Australia and of course Usman Khwaja. Usman Khwaja scoring runs for fun right now, and in Pakistan has been no different for him. It's been a historic tour for him. It's his homeland, but to perform like that, and in the last couple of months, even in the Ashes, he played so well. The way he's changed his test career, it's been outstanding. He's playing spin well as well, and with the fast bowling, he doesn't have too much of an issue. So it's been Usman Khwaja's test match and test series. Really happy for him. I think he got man of the series as well. 92 in this game and 104 in the second innings. So 92 in the first innings, 104 in the second innings. And Pat Cummins also picking up 8 wickets total in the match. Nathan Lyon, 5 wickets in the second innings, which proved to be crucial. And lovely to see Nathan Lyon pick up wickets on day five. He has struggled in the recent past, whether it's that Ben Stokes innings in Headingley or that Rishabh Pant innings. Lyon has struggled to close out games on day five for Australia, where pitches have been conducive to turn. But here, even in Karachi, we saw that. But here in Lahore, he really capitalized. He used those cracks well. Outside that off stump, he got it to turn a bit. He got the edge as well, and it was great bowling from him. And very happy for him to see him pick up those wickets. From Pakistan's point of view, I think they were very tentative in this Test match. In this whole series, it was a defensive approach. They had some great batting performances in the last game. Babar Azam, Rizwan. Again, here in this match, they were probably playing for a draw, and I think they should appeal a bit more aggressively, especially in their first innings. Yes, you can lose wickets, but at the end of the day, they still lost playing defensively. I think Pakistan in home conditions should be a bit more aggressive against Australia. This Australian team is not the same Australian team of the 90s or 2000s, the Invincibles kind of team, right? They do have some cracks in this team. India exploited it in the last. In 2021 in that series in Australia, so there are cracks there. You can beat them, and they haven't played away from home in such a long time. So I think they should have had those rank turners attack from ball one. It doesn't have to be rank turners, but kind of have conditions which are more favorable to you instead of flat conditions where it becomes neutralized. The first two matches Australia came in, they just played deliveries with ease. No issues. Yes, there was the odd shining spell which troubled them, but apart from that, not much life in the wicket, not much turn in the wicket. So Australia, whatever Pakistan made, Australia matched it, right? And yes, in Karachi, it felt like Australia should have won that game as well. So it goes to show that Pakistan were actually under the cosh in this series. Babar Azam said that they dominated the first two matches, but I kind of beg to differ. I think yes, Pakistan played really well in the first match. Even the second match, they're outstanding on day five, but they didn't dominate the first two tests. Australia were matching them for runs, or even in the second test, they got them all out for 100 odd. So if anything, Australia had the slight edge going into this match. And again, Australia played more aggressive cricket, whether it was declarations, whether it was shot selection. We also saw in the second innings of this test match, Khwaja and Warner, their opening stand. It was they were going 3-4 runs and over in the first 15-20 overs, and that allowed them to get to that 350 target quicker and give them time to bowl Pakistan out. So it was good intent from Australia. Pakistan kind of lacked that kind of intent. Yes, Australia is a really good team, but I just felt conditions could have been used a bit better. Pakistan has the resources, right? They have Shaheen Afridi, world-class bowler. They have Babar Azam, world-class batsman. Mohammad Rizwan in the form of his life. They have spinners in Noman and Sajid. They can also tap into the resources. They can play. Someone like a Yasir Shah. They have, I think, Zahid Mohammed, or they have another spinner in their ranks. So they do have options that they could have used and really attacked Australia. And I just didn't see that in this series. And for Australia, it's a historic win. It's great for their World Test Championship ranking as well. Beating Pakistan away from home, and it silences the doubters that they only win at home. They've won in tough conditions against a good Pakistan team, right? You can say that this team hasn't played as much competitive cricket or everything like that, but this Pakistan team is competitive. We saw that in that T20 World Cup. We've seen in Test series before when they went to New Zealand as well. They've had some close encounters. So and they have some world class players. It wasn't easy, and wherever you play, we've seen the great teams lose in Bangladesh. We've seen great teams lose in Sri Lanka recently as well. So it's not easy to play away from home, and Australia showed that. They showed that they are a good team, and they do have players for different conditions. They didn't have to play three seamers. They played with two seamers, and Cameron Green, I think he was fabulous. Cameron Green had a great series, especially that innings and that partnership with Kerry in this match. It really sets it apart. Even with the ball, he came and picked up a crucial wicket today of Abdullah Shafiq. He picked his wicket and he started that flow of wickets. I think Cameron Green has shown that he's here to stay. It's not just performance in Australia or anything like that. He is a player who can bat, who can bowl, and he provides that balance for Australia. It'll be easier for Australia to pick teams in different conditions with Cameron Green there, right? In Australia, he'll play as the fourth seamer in overseas conditions, where especially in the subcontinent, he can play as the third seamer with two spinners there. Swapson was kind of disappointing, but someone like a Green made up for that. And Lyon also, he was really good in this match in particular. And yeah, I think overall, a great series win for Australia. They will be extremely happy. Pakistan, not so happy. They will have to reflect on this because this was a good opportunity. Yes, Australia is coming. It's great for their cricket, no doubt. It's great to see cricket in Pakistan, but you don't need to let that situation dictate the way you play. You have to play to your strengths. It doesn't matter who's coming. Let it be the best team in the world or the worst team in the world. You play to your strengths because that's the opportunity you have, and you give that up. You take risks to win the game. If you lose while doing that, it's okay. You saw India when England came to India. India lost that first Test match, but then they continue to play. They played on risky wickets where Joe Root was picking up fifers, but India back to strengths and they won the series in the end. So that kind of approach after that first Test match, I mean, the Rawalpindi wicket was a road, but it was the first pitch of the series. So after that, they should have learned from that and play to their strengths. And that was disappointing. I think just wanted to see a more fearless approach. I would rather Pakistan lose this series 2-1 playing aggressive cricket than play this kind of cricket and lose 1-0 in the end, right? Like it wasn't that close. Over here, where the pitch was dictating a result, the better team won, and Australia were the better team in the series, whether it was batting or bowling. And Australia were actually poor in the field. They didn't take their chances. If they took their chances in Karachi, they would have won that game. If they took their chances here in Lahore, they would have won the game earlier as well. So that's something to take into consideration. I just feel that Pakistan should have played more aggressive cricket and take more risks. But apart from that, it was a good series. I would say the first two games, the second game was actually very interesting because we expected Australia to win that on day 5, and great to see Babar and Rizwan play like that. First game was kind of boring. This game was again a good game. Went day 5. Going into day 5, all 3 results were possible, and that's what you want to see. So I won't be too tough on the pitches. I think the first pitch was ridiculous. I will be tough on that, but the next 2 pitches, they were decent. But from Pakistan's point of view, you want results in your favor, so you create turning tracks, create tracks which will cause issues. Even if you put grass on that wicket, they have Stark and Cummins, but you have Shaheen and Naseem and Hassan Ali. Naseem was outstanding in this Test match. So you play to your strengths and don't worry about the opposition too much. I felt Pakistan was worrying too much about Australia rather than concentrating on themselves. Just need to believe, and that's what happened in that T20 semi-final as well. It's a different format, but again, it was against Australia. Australia had that mental strength. It wasn't on paper that Australia were a better team than Pakistan in that T20 World Cup, but mentally they were stronger, and that's exactly what happened here. Again, yes, Australia probably had more experienced personnel, but you have to take risks in cricket, and we just didn't see that from Pakistan. From Australia's point of view, player of the series for me in particular, it's been Usman Khwaja and very close Pat Cummins. Pat Cummins and Stark, that spell was one of the best spells I've seen on day 3, was it? In this Lahore Test match, both of them getting the ball to reverse swing this much. It was a brilliant display of reverse swing. Lovely to watch. Great fast bowling. So, Pat Cummins, close man of the series because he led well as well. He played aggressive cricket. Bowling changes were good. Field placement was good. But Usman Khwaja, I think the way he played, I know they were good batting wickets, but the way he played, and he scored crucial runs. It's one thing, to say that okay, the wicket was good, but it's also you have to capitalize. If there's other players who didn't capitalize, if Usman Khawaja got out early, you would have put more pressure on the other players as well. So, and remember that in the first innings they lost two early wickets, so him and Smith, that partnership was important. And I think, credit goes to Usman Khawaja there, and to Australia, a wonderful series win for them. The one day T20 series is yet to begin, so we will bring you the latest from that as well. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure to like and subscribe and stay tuned for the latest cricketing content. Thank you.